Okay, so let's continue our discussion. We are now on our case 2 of the linear equations with constant coefficients. Okay, in case 2, we have here the repeated real roots. Meaning to say, pareha og roots. Like our roots is like this, m1 is equal to m2. Meaning to say, pareha sila og value. So each solution is written by this. Okay, you have y is equal to c sub 1 times e to the power of m sub 1x plus c sub 2 times x e to the power of m sub 1x. Now, as you observe, naa kay x diri na dugang. Ka-equal man ilang roots, so magdugang na kadinag x. No, kung tulo na sila ka-equal, mahimo na siyang x squared dito. C sub 3, x squared na din ka. Okay? So let us try our first example here. Find the general solution of number 1. Okay, so what we're going to do here first, you can still recall. So itong buhaton, we write the auxiliary equation. So this becomes m squared minus 10m plus 25 is equal to 0. Okay, how do we solve this? This is a quadratic equation. Now, if you observe the left side of the equation, you can directly obtain the factors, no? By looking at the last term, which is 25, we can have m minus 5 times m minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay? So, these are the factors. So, again, we will set each factors to 0. m minus 5 is equal to 0. M minus 5 is equal to 0. It follows that your m is equal to 5, m is equal to 5. Okay, so meaning to say, your m sub 1 is equal to 5, your m sub 2 is equal to 5. So the same equal roots sila. Okay, by just looking at the solution, no? Therefore, our solution would be y is equal to c sub 1 e to the 5x plus c sub 2, you put x, kay pareha naman sila equal, e to the 5x. That's it. So, dali ra kayo basta repeated real roots. Okay? So, I'll give you another example. Okay, I'll give you another example. Okay, example number 2. You have y prime plus 16y is equal to 0. Again, we will write the auxiliary equation. So this is just equivalent to m squared plus 8y plus 16 is equal to 0. Okay? Now, as you look at the left side of the equation, this can directly be factored, no? So, what are the factors of the left side of the equation? This is m plus 4 times m plus 4 is equal to 0. Okay? Then, since you already obtained the factors, set each factors to 0. m plus 4 is equal to 0. M plus 4 is equal to 0. It follows that your m is equal to negative 4, m is equal to negative 4. So they have the same roots or equal roots. So either of the two, you will have your m sub 1 and m sub 2. Your m sub 1 is negative 4, your m sub 2 is equal to negative 4. So our solution would be y is equal to c sub 1 e to the negative 4x plus c sub 2x e to the negative 4x. Now, as you observe in case 2 class, if the same gali, the solution would always look like this, no? You will simply add x sa ikadua. Then again, if they have 3 equal roots, pwede siya madugangan na to siya possible kung ma-equal siya tulo. Kung is equal to m sub 3, pwede ka plus c sub 3, x squared na din na e to the m1x. Okay. Ano siyang possible niya sa case 2. Okay? That's all for the case 2. Okay, let's continue to our third example of the case 2. Okay, you are given the fourth derivative of y with respect to x plus 2 times the third derivative of y with respect to x plus the second derivative of y with respect to x is equal to 0. Again, we will write this first to its auxiliary form. So you have m to the fourth plus 2m cubed plus m squared is equal to 0. Okay. Now, as you observe, what is common from the three terms? No? So, we need to factor out first. So, we need to factor out m squared. So, ang mabilin din sa m to the fourth is m squared plus 2m plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay? So, set each factors to 0. M squared is equal to 0 and m squared plus 2m plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay. We need to solve for m here. M squared is equal to 0. So, it follows that your m is equal to 0 and 0. No? Dua yung value sa 0. When we raise both sides by subtracting the square root, no? So, we come up with the two roots, 0, 0. Here, we can factor still here. This is just equivalent to m plus 1 times m plus 1 is equal to 0. So this becomes m plus 1 is equal to 0. M plus 1 is equal to 0. So you have m is equal to negative 1. M is equal to negative 1. So how many roots do we have? We have 4 roots. You have m1 is 0. M2 is 0. M3 is equal to negative 1. M sub 4 is equal to negative 1. So, duwa ang nag-equal si 0 o si negative 1. Okay. So, therefore, what would be our solution? You have y is equal to c sub 1 e to the 0x plus c sub 2 x e to the 0x plus what? C sub 3 e to the negative x plus c sub 4x e to the negative x. Okay, are we correct? Di ba klaro? Okay, very good. Okay, simplify further. This is just, since we knew that e to the 0x is equal to 1, so you have y is equal to c sub 1 plus c sub 2x plus c sub 3 e to the negative x plus c sub 4x e to the negative x. So that's it. Okay? That's an example number 3 of case 2.